Welcome back to Bears Talk today. My name is Justin. We have Mike over here. And, Mike, the NFL season is starting soon.
It's
starts
tonight.
Today.
It's felt like such a long time since the Super Bowl, but we've got NFL football again. It won't be a good game tonight.
No.
Even with Micah Parsons, it wasn't going to be a good game.
No.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Sorry to shade Cowboys fans. We're 15 seconds in. We're already going
Cowboys. Listen, Cowboy slander is welcome here.
Cowboys slander is always welcome here.
So.
Yes.
Yeah,
and Green Bay slander, which Micah is now part of both of those.
We'll get to that a little bit later.
We will get to that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, goal for this episode is we wanted to kind of get our last minute predictions out of the way. We want to talk about the preseason. We wanted to go through and preview specifically our week 1 matchup against the Minnesota Vikings Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson's head coaching debut. So we've got a jam-packed episode for you guys today. But before we get started, just wanted to remind everybody that we are live on ACTV. You can also find us on YouTube at Bears Talk Today.
And also TikTok, Bears Talk Today.
And also
well.
TikTok. Shout out to the TikTok as well that Justin set up. But Justin, first and foremost, we got to talk about the preseason. We got to debrief on the preseason, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot that happened. We haven't gone live in about a month.
Yeah.
Gave some time for the preseason to marinate, kind of go through everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, in your opinion, what was the most exciting part of the preseason that we had?
I mean, what can I say? The most exciting part was the last game, which we have in our little notes here. But, I mean, that comeback win versus the Chiefs. Yes, I know it wasn't like Patrick and Travis Kelce played the whole game, but it was exciting, right? It was against a championship team, and it really showed potential of what we can be during the regular season. And, to be able to get some preseason starter guys to jump on board to what Ben Johnson had, I thought it was just a fun game. I didn't watch that game fully, but watching the highlights were extremely exciting for me. What about you?
Yeah, no, I did watch the game, and I will say the least exciting part of the preseason probably occurred during that game as well, where they were trying to determine if this one lady that had a press suite box was Taylor Swift. The broadcast kept cutting back and forth, and they were like, is it Taylor Swift, is it not? And I thought, man, we're not even in the season yet, and we're already playing this game. And then, of course, a week later they get engaged. So But we're not Chiefs talk today, so I'm sure we'll save that conversation. But no, I agree. Specifically with that comeback, Tyson Bagent looked very good this preseason.
He did. Yeah.
Now, we've had a lot of Bears fans, not only in our chat, but just in general, who proclaim that Tyson Bagent should be the starting quarterback. I'm not going to go that far.
Yikes.
But I got to give him his props. He balled out in the preseason. He earned him a nice little pay raise, 2 years, $10 million. I agree with you. I thought the Chiefs game was very exciting. For me, the most exciting part of the preseason was the 2 drives that Caleb Williams played against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
He was near perfect. He looked like he knew exactly where to go with the ball. He was quick. He was decisive. He was accurate. Obviously, that first drive resulted in like a 93, 94-yard drive for a touchdown, punctuated by the pass to Zacchaeus for the score.
Yeah.
But I thought he looked very good in that game. That was the Caleb Williams I wanted to see. We didn't see him in the first week. We saw him for a couple of drives in the second week. And obviously then, third week was a little sloppier.
Right.
There was the fumble on the exchange on the jet sweep. There was a couple times where he held the ball for too long. So I'm choosing to believe that what we saw against the Buffalo Bills is the Caleb Williams that we are going to see going into the year. I think maybe the Chiefs game was a bit of an aberration. But speaking of Caleb, and I guess speaking of both sides of the ball, Justin, how do you feel about our offense and our defense going into the year? Right now, what's your confidence level in both of those units?
I think let's start off with defense. I definitely feel like, we had a couple of injuries, right? Our secondary is a little rough, but I will say that, I feel a lot better than where we were a year ago. I think definitely with the coaching that we have behind it, I think it's something that we can be able to say, hey, I think we're going to play better. I think the biggest thing is obviously, looking at Jalen Johnson and looking at other players that are kind of 50-50, are almost ready to go, seeing if we can get them up and running, seeing if we can get them to be their prime peak selves, because really after week 5, it's like the gauntlet, right? We have primetime teams, so it's really important that we are, especially defensively. I feel like our offense, I feel like the coaching was the reason why our offense was bad last year, but our defense maintain the consistency that was decent pretty much the whole entire year, despite who was at the defensive coordinator position. So I feel more confident. We have better coaching, and we have better players. Not to mention our godly O-line for offense, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely
That's
think,
nice.
I definitely think we are a lot better than we were last year.
Yeah, no, I agree with your point on the defense. The health as of right now is a bit worrisome.
Yeah.
Tariq Smith goes down in the preseason. He's going to miss the whole year. Jalen Johnson is, he's been kind of banged up this entire offseason. Didn't play much, didn't practice much. Looking like he's 50-50 for Monday Night Football, which when you're going up against Justin Jefferson,
you need to be 100.
I really hope he plays. That's a really important matchup. And it's a matchup I think that we're going to be looking at all the way leading up to Monday.
Yeah.
I think Monday morning we're going to be checking his status. How's he doing? How's he feeling? Is he going to go? That's going to be a very, very important matchup on Monday, so I agree. But offensively, I agree with you. I feel a lot better. Offensive line looks competent.
Yeah.
I think Caleb he's been getting chewed out all offseason, but that's a good thing. Like, I want him to be chewed out. I want Ben Johnson to focus on the minute details of everything. So I'd say my confidence level, and I was a little too overconfident last year.
I think I was too. I think we drank the Kool-Aid a little bit.
It's whatever,
Yeah, you can look back at the clip of us having
No, I
deleted.
Don't that. We're deleting that.
Okay, good. It doesn't exist.
That's what every good sports analyst does. Is they always just go back and they delete their bad takes.
You're right.
And just leave their good ones.
Yep, smart man.
Don't even look for it. You won't find it. But, no, I think I feel like you said, I think the team's in a better spot, much better spot. And one of the big reasons is because of coaching. Justin, speaking of being in a better spot, or I guess the opposite of being in a better spot for us, being in a worse spot, we got to talk about Micah Parsons going to the Packers. We do. And listen, we're not a Packers show. We're not even an NFC North show. We're a Bears show. But when your division rival makes such a monumental move, you have to talk about it. It's going to affect the season.
Yeah.
It's going to be relevant to what the Bears are doing. Coincidentally enough, the Bears named their starting left tackle this week as well, Braxton Jones. That doesn't make me feel any better. So, give me your first reactions to the Micah Parsons trade to Green Bay.
Well, I feel like it was a monumental shock. If you know anything about the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, you know that Jerry Jones doesn't just openly trade his players. He's very selfish and stubborn, and he's not the guy to just willingly give a franchise talent to give up something like that that easy, right? So it was a shock. I know a couple hours before the trade was made, there are speculations he'd be going here and there and here. But I thought it was all smoke and mirrors. I was like, he's just going to sign an extension the week before the season. Oh, he signed an extension, all right, but with another team. So I think for me that, it's something that is scary for the league. I'll say that. But at the end of the day, I think the bigger thing the Packers have to worry about is how is Jordan Love going to play this season? How is he going to play in the postseason, right? The Packers are always, second in the division. They have a good record, but then they can't get past the Eagles, or they can't get past, it's very reminiscent of what it was in past years, right? Aaron Rodgers will have a great season, then they somehow don't make it to the Super Bowl, or they somehow get knocked out in the NFC divisional, right? So I think overall it's a great addition for the Packers, not a great addition for anybody else. I don't think if you were to put them against a Detroit, I don't think they could beat Detroit.
Ooh, you don't think they can beat Detroit?
No, I don't think so. I just think you have to understand that the Lions' defense is going to be healthy this year.
Yeah, they are.
At least most of them will be. So I think that's going to be a tough matchup for Green Bay. But overall, I thought it was a shock. I was not expecting them to be this close to us.
This is very reminiscent of Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call it like it is. This is very similar, almost the exact same point in the season. A week before the season for them. I think it was a few days before the season when we did it in 2018. Multiple first-rounders going the opposite way.
Yeah.
Like, this is a move that I think shifts the tide of the division. My thought about the Packers prior to last week was they're a good team. They're well coached. I think Jordan Love can be variable week to week, but I don't like their pass rush. I really just did not like their pass rush, and now I love their pass rush. That changes things significantly. So I think they saw the battle that the NFC North was going to be this year. The Bears getting better, the Lions being the number 1 seed, the Vikings winning 14 games last year.
Yeah.
They saw all of those things, and they said, we need to make a dramatic move. We need to do something that completely shifts the tide of this division. And credit to Brian Gutekunst, they did it. And I think obviously everybody in the NFL world is going to applaud them. I think we are all wondering what's going on with Jerry Jones. I mean, is he really trying to promote this Netflix documentary that
I
hard?
think he is.
Dude, we're already watching the documentary. You don't have to trade Micah Parsons. I promise you. But you're right. It was a huge shock. I was actually at work when I found out, and I wanted to throw my phone in the river. So if that tells you what my reaction was, just when the Bears are starting to get good, just when the Bears started to have a little positive momentum.
Yep.
Of course, the Packers get Micah Parsons, but it's okay because we got Ozzie Trapillo. What's
yeah.
that? It's like that Anthony Edwards interview where he was like, "Yeah, they got Kevin Durant, but we got Jalen McMillan."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or Jaden McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels.
There you go.
That's
yeah.
Receiver for the Buccaneers. I said, yeah, they got Micah Parsons, but we got Ozzie Trapillo, so we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Speaking of pressure, I guess the metaphorical pressure that Micah puts on the Bears. Who do you think, Justin, has more pressure this season? Is it Caleb Williams to show that he can be the franchise quarterback and that he's worthy of the number one pick and that the Bears shouldn't forever regret taking him over Jaden Daniels? Or is it Ben Johnson, a guy who's coming in trying to turn the franchise around, trying to prove that he wasn't just the offensive whiz kid that can't run a team? Who has more pressure this season, in your opinion?
I would say it would definitely have to be Caleb. And I think the biggest reason why was when he first got drafted last year, he was already under a huge amount of scrutiny coming in, right? Oh, he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to play. He's trying to be drafted to other teams and so forth. And there's some drama this season about it and how he didn't want to play. So I think overall, he fixed the noise, after he started playing and really becoming a part of this Bears franchise. But yeah, I mean, Ben Johnson just signed a nice contract. He's going to be here a while, at least for 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
But in this league, you have a 2-year window of you have to be good or somewhat good, or at least have the faith of your GM, coach, and the owner to say, hey, we want to keep you here, right? So I think to answer your question, it's going to be more on Caleb Williams. Even if they don't go over 500 this year, if Caleb Williams is worse than last year, it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be scary. There's going to be trades, and it's just not going to end well. And that's typically how the NFL is. They especially when it comes to the quarterback position, they pay off of performance, not off of what you do. It's how you perform.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I'll offer a counter argument to Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Because Ben Johnson for the last several years has been the guy. Yeah. The offensive guru coming in. He's going to be a head coach. We've known this for several years.
Yeah.
And for a couple of years in a row, he passed on opportunities. He's like, no, I'm good. I don't want to go to Seattle. I don't want to go to Washington. I don't want to go to Tennessee or New England. And he chose the Bears.
He did.
He chose the Bears. There's no debate about that. He chose the Bears. This is the situation that he wanted. This is the team he wanted, with the quarterback, with the GM, with the structure, with the receivers and the defense. These are the things that he handpicked. So if it doesn't work with this perfect situation that he put himself in, and no situation is ever perfect.
Yeah.
I'm saying in terms of walking in and being a head coach, if it doesn't work, that's a reflection on him. Everybody's going to point at him and say, yeah, he can call plays, but he can't run a team.
Yep.
This is an Adam Gase. This is a, to a lesser degree, Arthur Smith, right? Guy who's strictly just an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, well, should have stayed in Detroit. Him and Dan Campbell could have won a Super Bowl. There's going to be so much, I think, external pressure. So I don't disagree. I think both of these men are under extreme amount of pressure this year.
Yeah.
Caleb, like you said, if you're bad 2 years in a row,
you're out of here.
You're done. And I'm sure Ben Johnson loves Caleb, but he did not draft Caleb.
Right.
The loyalty he has to him wouldn't be as much as maybe a Matt Eberflus.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting, but that kind of leads to our next point, Justin, is what does Caleb need to do, or how can he avoid dipping down lower next year, avoiding the sophomore slump? Because was he great last year? No. I don't think he was as bad as a lot of the national media pundits say he was. They act like he's like Jamarcus Russell. That's unfair. I think Caleb was okay last year. So how does he avoid that sophomore slump?
Man, I would just say, a lot of snaps that you saw last year were because of his confidence, right? A lot of snaps are overthrown. A lot of receivers are getting overthrown passes, or passes that he just point blank missed them. So I think the number one thing that he has to kind of really hone in is his confidence. you hone in your confidence. You're able to stay calm when you get an interception, or you're able to stay calm when you don't get that third or fourth down. Will really, really help you out throughout the season, right? I would rather want a higher completion rate than touchdowns, right? The biggest thing you want is consistency. You want your quarterback to be consistent, and you know that no matter if it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter and game is tied, you know that Caleb Williams is going to deliver. Now, nobody is a robot, so don't expect him to always make that perfect pass. But I would just want to see more of an improvement of, hey, he can make these aggressive passes, or he can make these conservative passes when we need them, right? Those are small yards that you can get to be able to get a completion, get a first down, get a touchdown, field goal, especially in those pivotal games when we're tied up or when we're trying to, extend the lead and so forth. So I say it's confidence.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the point you made about completion percentage because I know in the offseason, Ben Johnson has set a goal for Caleb to have a 70% completion percentage. Now, you might be saying 70 is really high, and 70 would be, an elite outcome in that regard.
Yeah.
But there were, I believe, 5 quarterbacks or 6 quarterbacks that did it last year.
Yeah.
Jared Goff was one of them. Ben Johnson's former quarterback, Jared Goff, and part of that was because, number one, he gave Jared Goff a lot of layups, right? Quick, easy throws, screen passes or slants, schemed up concepts that were open for Jared Goff. It's just pitch and catch at that point, right? Now, obviously, there are throws that you need to make a tight window throw. You need to squeeze it into a hole this big. You got to split the safeties, whatever. But there are a lot of throws that I think Ben Johnson's going to give Caleb that are just going to be layups.
Yeah.
Right. Rome's going to be streaking across the field, or Luther Burden's going to be, on an out route. He's going to be open against a deep zone, etc. So I don't disagree. I think the completion percentage thing is going to be huge. And honestly, Justin, I want to see him take more chances.
I do.
Outside of just the completion percentage, I felt last year he got a little too conservative because, like you said, I don't think he had the confidence.
No.
I don't think he had the confidence in the play calling. I don't think he had confidence in the route combinations. And he certainly didn't have confidence that his offensive line was going to hold up.
No.
So I'm not saying we got to go out there and, we got to run the run and shoot offense like Warren Moon back in the day and just start throwing 40-yard bombs every play.
Yeah, no.
But I want to see in certain situations, I want to see in certain circumstances, when you have a matchup you like, when the down and distance is ideal, take a shot.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to throw a couple interceptions. I think personally, it's great that he only threw 6 interceptions last year.
Yeah.
I would have preferred that and it sounds crazy, that he actually maybe would have thrown more if that would have meant we had more explosive plays. Because one thing about Ben Johnson, he loves the explosive plays.
He does,
He loves the explosive plays. So I agree with you. I want to see him be confident. I want to see him play free. I want to see the higher completion percentage, but I think a lot of that's going to be scheme dependent.
Yeah.
But I want to see him go out there and gunsling a little bit. I was missing some of that last year. We got glimpses. We got glimpses of that. But I want to see him go out and gunsling and make some big plays down the field, especially with the new receivers and tight ends that they took in the draft this year.
No, and I agree. And that kind of leads us into our next question, Mike. Will Ben Johnson and co. be able to turn around this team for a playoff run this year? I think that's the biggest question.
It's a big question.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a question that we are going to be asking ourselves
all season.
All year. unless we go on another 10-game losing streak and we know by week. Like last year, we knew by Thanksgiving. We're like, all right, season's over. We're done.
Yeah.
But, I expect this team at the very least to be in the playoff picture. Like when you're watching football in December and you get that little graphic after the TV timeout. In the hunt. Yeah. I expect the Bears to be either in that side graphic or in the wild card graphic the entire season. If we're not in the picture, if we're not a serious contender, something went wrong. But do I expect Ben Johnson to be able to turn this team around?
In one season, no.
In one season, no. But to put them in the right path, I think is a better option.
Yeah.
I expect the Bears to have a winning record this season. And so is your definition, to go on a deep playoff run, to go to the Super Bowl, whatever? Not this season.
Yeah.
But do I think that, maybe we were taking a hard left and he's steering the car ever so slightly this way and now we're kind of going on the right path? I do think so. So,
I agree.
Again, we have to temper expectations a little bit. We're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, guys. Sorry to say, we're not going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Hold on there.
Hold on. Time out. Shaq meme, time out. But I do think that we are putting ourselves on the right path We're laying the foundation. We're laying the bricks. We're, paving the cement. I don't build a lot of houses, so maybe I missed a few
I was
steps.
like,
but anyways,
we're
we're building the solid foundation,
Yeah.
okay? And so we can hopefully then spring from this season to go into the 2026 season.
Mm-hmm.
But I do expect the Bears to be on a different path this season than they were last year. That's my answer. It seems convoluted. So my answer to your question is yes, but not we're not making a 90-degree sharp turn.
Right.
We're kind of veering the car off of the opposite lane traffic that we were heading in last season. Now we're like in our right lane, and we're going to be in a better spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think when we think about this team and all the potential, I think each year we just want to show steadily improving, and hopefully by the season 3, Caleb is ready to take that big leap.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Now, Justin, we have something kind of fun to do. We got to get our last minute predictions out of the way. I know we just talked about, is this a playoff team? Is this whatever?
Yeah.
Now we're going to get into the nitty gritty a little bit. We're going to go week by week, really quick, give our quick thoughts, and then after this, we will specifically dive deep into week 1, which is the game we have on Monday.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and start week 1 against the Vikings. What do you think? In Soldier Field, Monday Night Football, J.J. McCarthy's debut, Ben Johnson's debut. What do you think?
I think I'm going to eat a W.
That's out of nowhere. Where did that come from? Where did James Winston just walk in the studio? What?
Hey, James, I didn't see you over there.
No, you can't do that because the Florida State kid did that after they beat Bama, and so now it's just
right.
There's
Yeah,
a bad.
You're right. The aura is not there.
So you're taking the Bears against the Vikings week 1?
I am, and I know we're gonna get deeper into it later, but
Yes.
it's JJ. A lot of people, don't get me wrong, I think the Vikings had a really, really successful season, but I just don't think that it's going to be the same thing of McCarthy at the helm, right?
Yeah.
This is a rookie quarterback, and it's not even like it was a quarterback that was a highly valued pick. Don't get me wrong. He's probably going to be your average league starter, national champion.
Yeah.
He's from Illinois. He's
My arch rival.
yeah. Hometown hero, right? All great things, but I just don't expect him to really come out there and beat a team that's already experienced.
Yeah.
I think the only benefit that he has is he has Justin Jefferson, and he'll probably get a lot of targets that game.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that Jalen Johnson is able to be healthy and play. You slow him down. We are able to have Montez Sweat, some other guys in that backfield kind of really pressure McCarthy, and I think we're good. I think we can get a win for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the Bears a loss on this one.
What?
I'm sorry, I will. I'm gonna give the Bears a loss. I think the Vikings are very underrated. Not only that, but I think that their coaching staff is excellent. Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores is really good.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, tell me what the status of Jalen Johnson is going into Monday night. Is he 100%?
Yeah.
I can be persuaded. Is he not playing? Ooh, I don't know. So for now, again, this is going to be my theme this year, Justin.
Yeah.
They scorned me so bad last year.
That you can't
They
beat.
sunburned me so bad that
Yeah,
I'm
that's
wearing
fair.
20 pounds of sunscreen, like I do in real life. I'm wearing 20 pounds of sunscreen with this team. I'm not taking any chances, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not taking any chances, but I will be a lot more cautious. So I will go with the loss. You'll go with the win. I'm going to keep track of this on our
Perfect.
thing, and then we'll
Yeah.
converse afterwards.
Cool.
Week 2 in Detroit against the Lions. What are we thinking?
Yeah, we're not winning that one.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah,
now. We're
no.
on the same page
Yeah, they will probably, unless they just have some. Now, I do think it'll be interesting because obviously they don't have Ben Johnson, right? So my offense will be different, but I don't think they're. Oh well, I mean, yeah, I forgot they don't even have Aaron Glenn anymore, right?
Yeah, they lost both their coordinators.
But they still got Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
I still think this team will be a competitor. I think they'll probably finish first in the NFC North again. They may not be exactly the same Detroit Lions we've been seeing for the past couple of years, but I don't expect the Bears to come out. Now, it was weird because we almost beat them in that Thanksgiving game, but then
Why didn't we beat them, Justin? What happened at the end of that game?
poor coaching.
What happened? Did we not maybe
something
call timeout? Yeah.
No, that part, right?
Yeah, that
so
part, yep.
Thank
Thank you, Matt Eberflus.
Right. You're welcome. Yeah, I guess. Why am I saying you're welcome? I guess he's welcome.
No,
for
I'm with
leaving.
you. I think this is a loss. And this is no disrespect to the Bears. The Lions are a really good team. They're number one seed in the NFC last year. I know they lost both their coaches, but from a personnel standpoint, they really don't have too many subtractions.
No.
Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aiden Hutchinson will be back, as you said.
Yeah.
This is a really good Lions team on the road. I'm giving the Bears a loss. Now, I'll jump in front of you to say this one because I love me playing some Cowboys in Week 3. I love me playing some Cowboys against Week 3.
Them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? The Bears better win this game.
They better win this game.
They should have won this game before they traded Micah Parsons. Now they should definitely win this game. This is a home game against a, I would say, depleted team easily. Now, the Cowboys will have a good offense. Dak Prescott, I think, should not be as disrespected as he is. I like Dak personally. We know CeeDee's incredible. Jalen Johnson better be back for Week 3. That's all I'm going to say. We know their offense is going to be good. I think George Pickens, if he's not crashing out, will be fine.
I forgot he's on that team. Yeah.
But their defense is rough. And Justin, who's their defensive coordinator? Oh, it's Matt Eberflus.
Crazy.
Yeah. If Matt Eberflus walks into Chicago
and beats us,
cancel the season.
Yeah, it's over.
Cancel the season in Week 3.
Go ahead and move the stadium to Arlington Heights now, because
move the stadium. Start the construction.
Yeah.
Draft another quarterback. Better yet, start Tyson Bagent. Like, there's no excuses. If we lose to Dallas without Micah Parsons, Matt Eberflus walks in, trading his best guy to Green Bay. What an absolute anti-Chicago thing that would be, is to trade your best guy to Green Bay, then go into Chicago and beat the Bears. Not even going to think about it. We're beating Dallas.
Yes, I agree.
Another game I think that should be not as easy of a W. I think this team's better.
Yeah.
But then they play in Las Vegas against the Raiders. I'm giving them a win here.
I'm giving them a win too. Yes, they have Geno Smith. Yes, they have Aston Jeanty. And they have
Brock Bowers.
And
who's bald now, by the way.
I saw that.
Head.
You know what? Honestly, bro, it was about time.
Yeah, he was the most 45 looking 19-year-old I ever seen in my life.
It was time to let it go. So it was definitely needed. And obviously Max Crosby.
Yeah,
Max Crosby is going to be there. So there are some notable faces on this team, but as far as and your boy Pete Carroll.
Don't bring it to them. It still hurts a little bit.
So, honestly, this team could be a 500 team, or it could be a really, really trash team. And I think, obviously, it'll be Week 4 once we face them. I still think they're going to be figuring it out. Geno Smith is not in Seattle, so he's not going to have the luxury of what he had before. I think this would be a very, very rough game for them starting on. And I think the first couple of weeks for the Raiders will be kind of figuring things out. And I think that's when the Bears should hopefully have it all together and be able to sneak a win towards them.
I like what you said about the Raiders figuring it out. A lot of new pieces. Rookie running back, new coach, new quarterback. Yep. There's a lot of things that haven't quite gelled yet. And I think you're right. I think the Bears need to take advantage of that, and they need to steal a win from the Raiders. Although I'm not going to disrespect the Raiders. I do think that they are a good team. But the Bears, you got to play good teams in the National Football League.
Yeah.
Next, this is, I think, one of the games you circle on the schedule.
Yeah.
Primetime game against the Commanders. The site of the crime scene that killed our season last year.
Yeah.
Against Jaden Daniels, the number 2 pick. Justin, does this matchup go differently than it did last year? Hopefully there's no Hail Mary to end the game.
Sure,
but
yeah.
Do we come out with a win in Washington?
Man. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say no, only because I feel like with Washington and the momentum they had last year, I think really – I don't know. I want to – I'm like you. When it comes to certain teams, I'm like, especially ones that really beat us badly, I feel like this could be – the potential of us losing this game is more, to me, it's a higher chance than us winning. I definitely think Washington – and it's weird because, Washington just came really good out of nowhere. Rookie quarterback. It was almost a season we were 1.5, but they just took the spotlight. Yeah. So I think for me, I think it'll be a close one, but I just think with – with Jaden Daniels and their receivers as well, I think it's just going to be a tough one to win. I don't know if we're going to win it at Washington. I feel like if it was at home, I'd maybe give it a higher chance, but I feel like, their crowd is electric out there too.
They are. Yeah. They are. I'll tell you what, and I'm going to look right in the camera when I say this. The Bears are going to win this football game.
All right.
For 2 reasons.
Okay.
Number 1, We need revenge from last season.
We sure do.
We got embarrassed. That was the most embarrassing thing that happened to any team at all last season. Embarrassing.
Yeah.
We got to take back our pride, number one. Number two, you know who else got embarrassed by the Commanders last year? Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson lost the Commanders in the playoffs. So if you think about it, both the Bears and Ben Johnson got their season ended by Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
There's an element of revenge. There's an element of pride. There is an element of we have to get back against this team. That's number one. Number two, the Commanders last year were a little bit fraudulent, okay? We know. Yeah. They won a lot of games by the skin of their teeth, by failed Hail Marys, by Jalen Hurts getting hurt, and they're playing the third-string Eagles quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay? They won a lot of very close one-score games. In the NFL, you're going to win about 50% of your one-score games. Now, if you're an elite quarterback like Tom Brady, you win about 60. Mahomes is an outlier. He wins like 75, but that's just Mahomes. We can't. But what I'm trying to say is the pendulum always swings back.
Yeah.
Right? Last year, they won way too many one-score games. I think this year we'll see the pendulum swing back, and I think they'll get a little bit unlucky. So games that they might have won last year, they're going to lose this year.
Yeah.
I'm giving the Bears a win against Washington.
I'm not mad at that.
I think that's going to be a season-defining game against Washington.
I think it will.
If they go into Washington, beat the Commanders, ooh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling, as John Gruden would say, I'm feeling nicey. Feeling nicey. Now, Justin, I think we're on the same page with this one. Probably don't have to spend a whole lot of time.
No. It's the Saints. Tyler Rattler, right?
It's Spencer Rattler and then Tyler Shuck.
Tyler Shuck. Yeah, there we go. Who?
No. Who? Yeah.
We could. Hot garbage. Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it. It's the Saints.
Week 8. All right, let's move on.
If we lose to the Saints,
we got bigger problems.
We got bigger fish to fry. Yeah. Another game that we probably don't need to spend too much time on. The Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore.
We have a Google Doc, and he just wrote L on it. And I told him I would 100% agree. Unless Lamar Jackson is not playing in this game, we're not.
Yeah, if he just takes a mid-season vacation or something.
Yeah.
Well, I know the other thing that sucks for the Bears, and I know it's because I have him in fantasy, their bye week is week 7.
I know.
So they're coming in.
Roger Goodell.
Fully rested at home against the Bears.
What's up with that, bro?
Lamar Jackson, I'll say this. Lamar Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
He is one of the winningest quarterbacks in the NFL. But you know what, Justin? You know what he's the best at?
What?
He is at his best when he plays NFC teams because we have nothing like him in the conference.
Nope.
So we have no idea how to defend him. Like,
nope.
Who's going to run scout team quarterback that week?
Yeah.
Tyson Bagent? He's going to be running around like Lamar? I think not.
Yeah, no.
Baltimore, mad respect. We'll give that a no.
No.
Now an interesting one, another AFC North opponent. We got to go the next week to Paycor Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio, to play the Bengals.
Skyline
Joe
chili
Burrow.
Mid.
Oh.
Skyline chili mid.
You don't like Skyline chili?
I never had it. I'm just.
Oh. I was like, whoa. You're just dissing the whole city of Cincinnati. Save that for Green Bay, dude.
It's a little TikTok.
Well, there's nothing to diss because there's nothing in Green Bay to do. But anyways, week 9 against the Bengals. Now, I go back and forth with this one because part of me says Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Ooh, that's tough. And that is going to be tough.
That is going to be tough.
But then again, there's a reason they didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Their defense is
atrocious. Yeah.
And that was with Trey Hendrickson leading the NFL in sacks. They had the sack leader.
Yeah.
And they were still one of the worst defenses to the point where their MVP caliber quarterback, who was playing one of the best seasons of his career, could not drag his team to the playoffs.
No.
Not the division, not the Super Bowl, to the playoffs. So it really, to me, like when I first thought of this game, I was like, oh, L.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to, I mean, they lost to like the Patriots last year.
Yeah,
like,
that was crazy.
Come on. So what do you think? I'll let you go first on your prediction.
I'm going to go for W. And let me tell you why it's W. I feel like when you have a team that has an atrocious defense and you have a coach that's offensively minded, I feel like Ben Johnson will be able to pinpoint the weak spots in their front lines and their secondaries. Not
much to pinpoint. It's the whole all 11 players.
It's all
11 players on that side of the ball.
That part
minus
too.
Trey Hendrickson.
You're right. I just think overall, we This is one of those games, depending on how the Bengals play this season, that we can take advantage of. If they're starting to kind of struggle and slump like they did last year, we got to go in Cincinnati. We got to beat them. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game if we do end up winning. But I think with all the drama they had over the offseason of paying players and trading players and all of this, I think it's going to be something that is going to continue to lull over the season, and I think we can be able to come up there and sneak a win.
So I'll play contrarian here.
Okay.
I'll go with an L. But I'll tell you what, this is one of my least confident convictions for a game.
Mm-hmm.
I could very easily be convinced that they're going to win this game. You could very easily convince me that Joe Burrow throws for 450 yards and we lose. I don't know. Honestly, if I could, I'd put a question mark. But we had to do the math afterwards and figure it out.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go like 51% loss, 49% win.
Yeah.
I'm very torn on this game. I think the tiebreaker for me is that the game's in Cincinnati. If it was in Chicago, I would probably definitely go with a win. But I'll go with a loss for the Bengals. Another interesting, hard-fought playoff caliber game. We get to host the Giants. Justin, we're on the same page with this one, are we? Are we not? This should be
Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston.
The Jackson Dart-led. This should be the Jackson Dart-led Giants, and potentially this is just conspiracy talking.
Should be
the Brian Dable-less Giants. I don't think he makes it to Week 10. Unfortunately,
I don't think he does either. I feel like this has been like a few seasons of mediocre-ish. So it's just like, all right.
Yeah, no.
I think they make some changes.
He's hanging on a thread here for sure, but we're on the same page. We should beat the Giants.
And he let go of Saquon. Why? I don't know why.
Well, Daniel Jones, obviously. That's why.
Yeah. Because you see where he's at right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, W at home. If we lose this one, just expect me to crash out on the day after we do the show. But.
Yeah, there's gonna be some trouble there.
Yes.
Next, we play at Minnesota. Now, I'll say this, Justin. At home, we played the Vikings well last season.
We did.
The Vikings well, took them to overtime. I have them losing on Monday. You have them winning. What do you think they do Week 11? Now we're like, the playoff picture is starting to paint itself a little bit.
Yeah.
We've got a mosaic kind of forming of who's good, who's bad, who's not, whatever.
Yeah.
Week 11 in Minnesota. This game will matter. What do you think?
I'm still thinking we're beating them.
Okay.
Do
you think we sweep the Vikings this year?
I think we do.
Okay.
I 100% think we do. I mean, I think because who is Minnesota's backup if it's not JJ?
Carson Wentz. They just signed Carson Wentz.
Yeah, we're gonna beat the Vikings twice this year. And I just think overall, like, I don't think he's gonna have a Caleb Williams season to where he's performing as well as he did, but there will be ups and downs. And they're at least going to give him a one-season tryout to say, okay, can you really come in and win?
You think the leash is short for McCarthy?
I think the leash is short for McCarthy.
Okay.
I think when they signed Sam Darnold and obviously they brought in McCarthy, it was kind of like, oh, whoever's better first, we'll have them play. And it just happened to be Sam Darnold wanting to play for his life and just be really, really good. I don't think that that's something that will happen. Lightning doesn't strike twice, and I think the Vikings will be fourth in the division. I think they'll struggle this year. I don't see them being great like they were last year. I don't.
Okay.
Call me the biggest Vikings hater ever.
A couple more interesting games here.
Yeah.
Week 12, we host the Steelers. But more importantly, we host
Aaron Rodgers. I thought we can get rid of him. Why do you keep coming back here?
A pest. You just need more bug spray to keep spraying at the window.
Yes.
We got to beat Aaron.
We do, dude.
We got to beat Aaron Rodgers.
We do, man.
I'm sorry. I don't care if he's playing for the Harlem Globetrotters, okay? Yeah. Whatever Aaron Rodgers does, the Chicago Bears need to come in and beat him for all of those years of torment and torture and saying, I own you and all this. I don't care. I don't care if he's playing for the junior varsity high school team he's coaching.
Yeah.
The Bears need to go down to that field and kick their butt.
Now, I will say
this. Beat the Steelers.
This will be a tough game because the Steelers have, some new additions on the receiving end.
Yeah.
Metcalf's going to be tough to contain.
DK will be nice.
You still have Najee Harris.
Although they did shut down DK last year against the Najee's on the Chargers now.
Oh, right.
And he almost blew off his fingers in the 4th of July accident.
Yes, that is right. Yeah.
Interesting. So the Steelers,
it's weird.
They'll be a tough team.
They're always 500 too. It makes no sense.
But you got to beat the Steelers.
No, you do.
You have to.
You have to get your lick back, and I think that we both agree this is a this is a win right here. All right, week 13
at the Eagles. All right, next game.
All right, yeah, we
no, I don't think it's the Eagles.
Brother Saquon. Saquon Barkley is gonna kill us.
They just put belt to what against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, brother. That's
and that was on a neutral site field. We got to go to the
in Philly.
Do they still call it the Link? Am I out of the loop?
I'll have to ask one of my buddies.
I think they still call it the Link. We got to go to the Link.
Maybe, yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Now we play Green Bay. I think it's funny that the NFL schedule makers last year said they wanted us to play Green Bay late in the year as well, week 18.
Interesting. Yeah.
Now we're playing Green Bay week 14 and week 16. So week 14 we're at Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Week 16 we host Green Bay. Mm-hmm. I'll start off what we're going to say.
Yeah.
I think we beat Green Bay at home.
Okay.
I think they beat us on their field. That's what I think. I don't know that we go into Lambeau week 14 because, Lambeau at that time of the year is just rocking.
Yeah.
I don't know that we go into Lambeau and beat the Packers, but I think having a bye week in between Green Bay and Green Bay, a.k.a. the Cleveland Browns, we are going to be able to, again, study the film, know what to do. Maybe we lose by like a field goal or a touchdown or something.
Yeah.
Or make adjustments and beat Green Bay because that game is going to be important. Those games are going to be important against Green Bay for the playoff picture, for the division, and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I will go loss in week 14,
okay,
win in week 16. What do you think?
I think if we're at home, I think we're winning it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're winning it. I think that, despite, them getting the generational pass rusher in Micah Parsons, I think that definitely, because if you look at the games we played versus them last year, they were kind of close. Mm-hmm. And I think with that,
both came down to a field goal from Cairo Santos. One was blocked, one went through the upright. So.
Right, yeah. So, and it's weird. I feel like, maybe it's just for me watching Green Bay over the past couple of years, I always feel like after the, week 13, week 14, they run out of gas and they get kind of complacent. And, we secured a playoff spot, or, we're in a nice spot, so we're just going to chill for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think that's when the Bears take advantage, and I think we're at home, so we'll have some momentum. The rivalry is always going to be great. I think we're going to get a win at home.
Do you think we beat them in Green Bay?
Oh.
So are you thinking what I'm thinking, where we lose the first game at Green Bay, we take our bye week, which is the Cleveland Browns,
yes,
and then we come back the following week and we beat them at home?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, we mentioned Cleveland in between there.
Shedeur Sanders.
That's probably going to be Shedeur Sanders.
Bust down my AP. Perfect timing. Sorry. It's catchy, all right?
You got to be the only person I've ever met to unprompted sing that song. Last two games, and we'll go through these. Week 17 at San Francisco. Mm-hmm. Week 18 hosting Detroit.
Yeah.
Ooh, tough, brutal.
Yeah.
Last year we went to San Francisco, and despite them having a bad year, they I don't even want to say how bad it was, because I think at one point the yardage disparage was it like 250 to 3? I think they had us the advantage.
Yeah.
It was rough. I don't expect to be embarrassed that badly. But do you think San Francisco is still the powerhouse that they have been in years past, or do you think the Bears are finally catching up? Ben Johnson himself also had lost to San Francisco in the playoffs the previous year.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Lions – no, they did play San Fran, and they beat them last year. That was the Monday night.
Yeah.
What do we think?
I'll say this before I get into that. We got an awesome TikTok comment. JC, what's up, guys? All the way from Ireland. I hope your Bears and my Giants have a good year. Thank you so much, JC. I hope your Giants have a good year after we beat them. After we get the win from you guys. But
I think your good year will start in April next year. And I'm being serious.
After the head coaching vacancy.
Lenore Sellers, come on. We got a good draft coming up.
But getting back to the question, I think that honestly, I feel like San Francisco's just been going in a decline. Okay. I feel like with how they had their slump last year and they're just injury-ridden, you're forgetting a very important person who's not on there anymore, which we forgot to talk about for Washington. Deebo Samuel.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's it's like saying Deebo Samuel. Come on. Let's be honest.
I'm just. Yeah, so you might as well just put a W in that.
You said that's a W.
That's a W, bro. I'm sorry. I mean, and honestly, yeah, I don't think San Francisco's the same how they were a couple of years ago. I think they're just going to be kind of struggling. I feel like Brock Purdy will still be Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy can't carry a team by itself. We saw that with Joe Burrow, and it didn't be successful. So I think we're going to win that one.
I'll give them a win here as well. I think this game is going to be more important for the Bears.
It is.
I do. I think this is going to be a game that they're fighting for their playoff lives. And I think that, again, they'll be much more competent than they were last year.
Yeah.
Maybe San Francisco's still not healthy. I mean, we talk a lot about, all the injuries they're dealing with, and hopefully they're going to get healthy.
Yeah.
They're still not healthy.
No.
They're signing receivers, who were working at Walmart last week. Like, they've got a bunch of guys who are old, who are more injured. I mean, I know Christian McCaffrey's back and healthy right now, but he's on the plus. He's going to be on the plus side of 30. So it's interesting to me. I'll give them a win.
Status.
He is UNC status. Detroit Lions, Week 18, ending the season. I have a thought, and it is a wishful thought, and it is a thought that I'm going to ride with. The Bears are going to win this game.
Okay.
Because the Lions will have the number 1 seed.
And then they're going to play their starters.
Or they'll have the number 2 seed, and they won't have a chance to get the number 1 seed. Like maybe Philly has the 1 seed.
Oh, yeah.
The Lions will be resting their starters. I think we win this game.
I think so, too.
And we're going to need to win this game.
Yeah.
But this is a good opponent to play in Week 18 if the Lions have their seeding locked in.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that Detroit will be, unless they're like fighting for a playoff spot, which I highly think they will not be. I think that they're going to win this game. The Bears are going to win this game for sure. And I think that with what, I'm hoping by Week 18 we have figured out, because that's the last week of the season. But, I just think that we're going to go in there and we're going to take advantage of the Lions resting their starters. So, so Mike is going to be counting up the win totals for us. Leave a comment down below if, of what you think our season prediction might be. We'll be watching, giving our thoughts, but...
Okay, I'm doing a little math.
You're
definitely more optimistic than I am. 1, 2.
Oh boy, I hope I'm not too optimistic.
Okay. You have the Bears going 12-5.
Okay.
I have the Bears going 9-8. So we have some disparity in our thoughts this year.
Okay.
And that's the predictions we're going to stick with.
Yeah, we're going to stick with those. I honestly wasn't. It was because we were going through our, each team. I was thinking team by team, not really like total wins. So you kind of thought,
but that's a good way to do it.
That is a good way to do it.
You get the matchup. So 9-8 for me. Went a lot more cautious. You went more optimistic, which is fine. Last thing, we'll get out of here in a few minutes. But let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
I checked the betting line this morning. Gamble responsibly if you do. Please be 21 or older. The Vikings are currently favored by just 1.5 points. Now,
that's weird.
For a team that won 14 games last year versus a team that won 5 games this year, it tells me 2 things. A, Vegas thinks the Bears are going to be a lot better.
Yep.
They better be.
They better
be. And 2, I think that their thought on they don't know what to think of J.J. McCarthy yet.
Nobody
And
does.
that's totally natural for a quarterback who is yet to make his first start against a coach who is yet to be a head coach ever.
Yeah.
Interesting line. I would probably take the Vikings to cover in that one because I did think that they were going to win.
Yeah.
But what are some of the keys to victory? What are the key matchups? What are you thinking about this game, Justin?
Obviously, it's going to be we'll got the offensive helm, right? We got a rookie quarterback versus a sophomore quarterback, and I think definitely when we look at advantages, when we look at the tail of the tape, we're going to go with the guy who actually played in an NFL season and knows the schemes and knows how to, be able to stay calm and confident in certain, areas or plays. So I think overall, I think that, Caleb will definitely have the advantage and the knowledge. I think that he has a better team behind him. I think the anomaly is, you have Justin Jefferson, which is a almighty wide receiver, is a huge problem. And, if we don't have Jalen Johnson at least healthy, I think that's going to be hard. But then I also think about it like this. If we're able to, with our defense pressure J.J. McCarthy, Justin Jefferson's not going to get any touches.
Yeah.
If we're able to really have him be stressed out in the pocket and get some sacks and really mess with his game, because think about it. just like any rookie quarterback in their first game, it's a lot of nerves. They may try to act cool and throw highlights and throw tennis balls and all of that stuff on the sideline. No, but seriously, like in their mind, you have to mess them up mentally.
Yeah.
And you got to sack them a couple of times. So that is what I'm expecting on Monday night for us to do in order for us to be able to win this game. But those are some big matchups.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it is J.J. McCarthy essentially making his homecoming. He's from Illinois. He's played at Nazareth Academy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll be interesting. Now, the one thing about Justin Jefferson that is good for the Bears is the fact that we should have the opportunity to double team him, shade a safety on the side, because their other receiver, Jordan Addison, is suspended.
Yep.
So, when you drive 110 miles an hour, that means you don't get to play the Bears in week 1. That's good for the Bears. That's good for the Bears. We can double team Justin Jefferson. We can afford to dedicate more resources to his side of the ball. My thought is, I don't know if the Bears in week 1 will be buttoned up enough to beat a team that was 60 minutes away from being the number 1 seed in the NFC. Okay. I also believe that this Vikings team is getting a little bit disrespected. I understand. Listen, I'm not the biggest J.J. McCarthy guy either, but I think they're a lot better than people think.
Okay.
In terms of a score prediction, I'm going to go with 27-20.
Okay.
The Vikings win, meaning they also cover. I think we leave this game not, super mad, not necessarily being like, oh man, season's over, but like, okay, we maybe throw a bad pick or we have a breakdown in defensive coverage, something like that. I think we're not going to be as buttoned up. I think the Vikings win this game 27-20. What do you say? What do you think?
Okay. Now, I know in my season prediction I said a win, so I'm going to still stick with a win.
Yep.
I think it'll be a close game. I'm going to go with 24-17.
Okay.
I think when it comes to offense, it's not going to be a huge offensive explosion from either team. I think both teams, it's first game of the season. They're still going to be trying to figure each other out, fill each other out. This will be a lot of different, defensive schemes, defensive plays, offensive plays that'll get tried and tested to see what really works, what doesn't work, and so forth. So I think that the Bears, with their coaching, the Vikings coaching is good too, like we mentioned. So I'm not worried about that. But I think we just have a better overall, not just Ben Johnson, but our, the Dennis Allens of the world. I think we just have better coaching on our side overall than just one or two people on the Vikings side. So I definitely think. And even look at McCarthy's highlights in college. Michigan was a running team. They ran the mess out of that ball. So I'm not saying that McCarthy can't throw. I'm pretty sure he can. He can probably throw better than me. I would
hope he could throw better than you, or else we got you in the wrong job. If
Heisman?
Yeah, Heisman. Well, it's more like this, but yeah.
But I think we're gonna win this game, and it's honestly important that we win this game because not saying if we go 0-2, the season's over, but that's going to be that's a hard way to start off because we both said that we're not winning at Detroit. So
I don't think so unless they really show us something in week 1. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you're watching on TikTok, watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on ACTV, we appreciate you.
Yes.
We are going to be going live next Tuesday, which will be the day after the game, to recap the game, talk about the following week against Detroit. Also on a short week as well against Detroit because we play on Monday. So awesome. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.
See ya.